So the name of this project is Ecology meets Forensic Entomology, and it is a project that investigates where these two disciplines intersect. It deals both with the community ecology of communities of insects that get attracted to decomposing cadavers, and it's relevant to forensic entomology because you can use these data to try to determine how old the cadaver is.
We focus mostly on the flies, the wasps, and the beetles, starting with the flies because they're the most forensically relevant, which means they show up during certain time periods. They've been shown to show up during certain time periods, whether it's the beginning of the decomposition or the end.
Okay, so right now we're working on analyzing our data. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were in the field collecting our samples, and now we're doing like the whole analyzing our samples, writing down our data, which is a really long process, which will take a majority of the summer, which is also a big part in any research project, is just getting like the whole data together and coming up with your conclusion.
I'm currently right now identifying flies and wasps and beetles just to see if carcass size has an impact on the species richness and abundance. And since I am a forensic science major, a lot of us aren't really particularly about research, we're more about law enforcement. So I just felt like it would really broaden my horizons.
One thing that I hope all my students will get from participating in this project is a way to objectively test hypotheses, and be able to answer a question in an objective manner using the scientific method, learning how to use the scientific method to learn more about what you want to learn about. Even if they don't continue working with insects or within forensic entomology, I think that participating in projects like this one and other ones is very valuable because they'll learn how to use the scientific method in its entirety.
The biggest skill I'm learning is definitely patience. Forensics itself is very tedious, but other than that, not trying to be funny, but definitely the skills I'm looking at is how to differentiate species with flies and bees and things like that, and definitely basically practice on how to do a research project. You know, you have an observation, think of a hypothesis, and put your conclusions together in words. So I think that's like a big part in especially any science field.
I guess I'm really learning how to really think outside of the box, figuring out how to design an experiment and how to use a scientific method to really push the research forward. And just that research isn't as cut and straight as we usually think it is. There's many problems that arise, many things that go wrong, and just how to figure out how to find solutions for those problems.
This experience, I think, is more accurate to the kind of research and fieldwork that I will be doing in the future. Because when it comes down to it, you know, the data that we are collecting is for forensic entomology. But that's not to say that the data can't be run through somebody else's program and used for something else. And I think kind of realizing that even if your data is collected for a certain purpose, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the only thing that it'll be used for. Someone might take the raw data set that you have and use it for something ecological or environmental or agricultural or even medical, because that's another aspect of entomology.